man, the land of empathy, man. And we got a guest, you know what I'm saying? Got the brother, the MEZA. Did I pronounce
That's
that?
that's right.
All
Daniel
right.
Truth de Meza.
Daniel Truth, the MEZA, bro. Before anything further, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be talking about, choosing the right partner. You know what I mean? Y'all seen the video. You know what I mean? We've seen the video. But first, we want brother to introduce himself. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, it's the first time everybody's seen him, bro. You know what I mean? So, go ahead, bro. Let people know who you is, man. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff, man.
Yeah. So my name is Daniel Truth de Meza. I'm a BSN RN registered nurse for over 14, 15 years. And I'm in the process of becoming a spiritual, psychiatric, mental health nurse practitioner. I'm gonna I'm gonna be opening up an institution called the Spiral University, the Temple of Infinite Return. And so it's gonna be a spiritual place that transcends even religion, and we're going to cover a whole bunch of different topics to address human development holistically.
Hmm.
So I'm an author of the book called Nurse Fluence, which is a book on communication
Oh,
in
wow.
nursing and how it could apply to all relationships. So with me authoring that book and being a communication expert and furthering my education and to become a spiritual psychotherapist,
Yeah,
I definitely am uniquely qualified to shed some light on this topic.
for sure. I mean, all that knowledge for sure is going to help, what we talking about. Even though, not everybody has that level of knowledge and, you know, being realistic, being completely honest, you know, people don't, the common man, regular lady, they don't think too far into stuff. That's kind of why, the channel was there, Land of Empathy, right? Because people really think, for the most part, a lot of people think very surface level, you know what I'm saying? If they haven't experienced it, they go with their own judgments. But this whole channel, the reason I even got the whole channel, because every religion teaches love, right? But I think the the part out of love I like to focus on is empathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can love, but if you only love your people and you don't love everybody else, then what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So that's fine. All right, let's get right into this though. So
And I just want to jump in.
uh,
I don't want to be hitting niggas up with all those credentials and shit, and niggas think that I'm not out here slaying pussy. I ain't the common man out here. I mean, I ain't common. Don't get me twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not common. But
yeah,
just because you see me with a button up and you know what I mean, hitting you up with all these fancy words, don't think that I'm not out here. And I haven't been out there in the streets.
knocking
So
shit down.
yeah, knocking shit out. You don't think I haven't been raised in the hood. Don't think I can't relate. Don't think I haven't heard gunshots all my life. Don't think none of that. You know. So matter of fact, I'm gonna be speaking to you from a place of infinite humility. I mean, just yesterday I had broke up with a woman, you know what I mean? And we was talking just about this, what happened. And from being super duper introspective, I saw that there was missed opportunities for me to be more empathic, to
Yeah,
practice more empathy,
yeah.
and to honor her style of communication. So I'm super excited to talk about this, not from a place of I know everything and I'm the expert, listen to me, but from a place of I specialize in this. I specialize in this, and I still make mistakes. So I
Yeah.
want to, you know what I mean. So just keep it real like that.
All right, so when we're talking about, from what we see in the video, talking about choosing the right partner, what I'm saying, having when guys are choosing the right partner, what I mean, choosing a lady that listens to them. What, let's start with this. What is your take from the video? We're going to start with your take, and I'm going to then throw some things here and back around it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different takes that we have. We have the on the surface take, but
Yeah,
then we have the meta take underneath it. You
yeah,
know, we'll talk about the on the surface take. On the surface take, he's definitely 100% correct.
yeah.
His delivery is for men, women watching it, and especially in our feminized world, they're not going to like what he has to say,
I got it.
right? But on the surface and logically, he's 100% correct. That's the surface level. Absolutely. It's extremely important that you have a woman who's excellent at communication
Hmm.
and emotional regulation, because what men are famously known for is ego, right?
Yeah,
The ego, right? But what are women famously known for?
emotion.
Yeah, being out of control with their
Out, out,
emotions,
lack of control with the emotion. That's a fact.
right? So just as much as we want to be men who are super in control of our ego, we want to find a woman who's very much in control of her emotions, and that goes beyond just the communication that he was speaking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. See, me, I always say on this channel, I'm like, there's no formula for this shit, right? It's very for me. It's this, the formula that I go by is very simple. First rule of reality. I always say this: when you were born into this world, there's certain rules that we can't do shit about. It's first rule of reality. Nothing lasts forever. Second rule of reality: you don't know how long you have it. There's no expiration date written on anything, right? So meaning, as you came in, how there's this saying of a woman, they tell a woman do like, or even a guy, if you date like this, do like this, check all these boxes, woo, 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 you're gonna find a partner that's gonna last forever. That's bullshit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's never worked. It didn't work back in whatever time. It didn't work in our parents' time. It ain't gonna work now. It's just there's no rule for this whole thing. Heartbreak and disappointment is the order of the day for reality, right? You shouldn't base your what anything based on your external what they call external stimulus, right? So let's say for example you set a goal, whatever the goal is. We're talking dating right now. You're looking for a partner. All you simply have to do is find somebody that mutually it flows, right? You don't know how long it's going to keep flowing for. You don't know how long whatever. It's the whole idea is you pick somebody that you being yourself and them being themselves. It just it's natural, it's smooth. Once that friction begins and there's no way to really work around it, me personally, I say let it go and move. Something else will come. But now in the world we have, they always tell you, oh, you just jumping from one partner to another. No matter how long, you should be looking for somebody for your forever person, right? So when bro was talking about all that, I got what he's saying. But for me, ultimately, it's still what I'm saying. And pick a partner that just matches you. Like it should just be someone that you're not having to prove yourself to. You're not having to do none of that. It just as it came, so would it leave. So if you put all that effort to work on it to come in, you can also put all that effort for it to leave you. There's no. I just don't believe in that's a formula. But if you just be with somebody that is just smooth, if it's just smooth, the key for me is if it's smooth. If it's not smooth, if you have to qualify, quantify, blah, 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 there's no point because I always say it's 50-50 regardless. Whether you do all those things, it can still leave you the next day, whatever it is. If you don't do all that stuff, it can still leave you the next day. So there's no exact formula. The true formula is your happiness. How are you happy? Are you not? You know what I'm saying? That's my whole take from the whole thing. So I agree with bruh, but I also think we shouldn't be trying to do stuff to keep somebody, trying to do stuff to quantify. Bro, just be natural. Just let it flow. Basically, just let it flow. You know what I mean? That's my whole take on the thing. You know what I mean?
Now I love that. And and I could almost agree with everything. I would just like to add a few things. First off, bro, heartbreak and disappointment. While that may be true, that it's the order of the day,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be the order of the day for our listeners.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. That might put some prophetic words to y'all.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. And for you and for your channel is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We listening to your channel because we're learning about empathy,
Yeah.
right? And what you're talking about with being smooth. Now, what one thing what I add is, we don't want to necessarily add extra turmoil and extra friction,
Mm-hmm.
right? And challenge your relationship. But what I want to say is, I really challenge you. I don't really believe that you're going to just break up a relationship at the first sign of friction, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that.
Yeah.
I believe what you really are saying is just that if it's not working and it's
Mm-hmm.
not working for this person and you just keep trying to make it work, let
Mm-hmm.
it go. But
Yeah.
at the first time of something not working, that's what the video is talking about. That you want a woman who is fully committed to having excellent communication, seeing things from your point of view, i.e., empathy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And being a great listener. Now, the video is already supposing that the man already is in control of his ego, already has good empathy, and is good communicator, and himself is also a good listener,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So when you have two people who are like that,
Yeah.
when there's a little friction,
Mhm.
they pause. They don't just keep doing this. They go
Yeah.
like this, and then they think, "What happened? What happened?" They open up, they talk, they come together, and then there's harmony again.
Yeah.
So I'll wrap that up by saying, right? I'll wrap that up by saying this. I do have something else to add to it,
Go ahead.
but I'll add to it. This reminds me of Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Okay.
The fifth habit is first seek to understand, then be understood.
Mm.
So I'll say that again. First seek to understand, then be understood. So as per that video, make sure that if you're dealing with a woman who is like this and not listening, not listening, not listening, before you keep on trying to make sure that she's listening to you, first seek to understand her feelings,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Because just how men have an issue with controlling their ego,
Mhm.
women have, I would even say, being empathic to women,
Mhm.
women have an even harder issue controlling their emotions.
Now, I agree with that. What you're saying reminds me of this another saying I have. I say, it's not my saying though. It's been here. When you point one finger, the rest is pointing at you. So before when I react on here, I always tell them, bro, everything I'm reacting to is my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? And if someone decides to react negatively at me, I'm not gonna get mad because I'm reacting to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. And also, like what you were saying, I definitely don't think at the first sign of turmoil they should split. That's
Right.
that because there was a reason at the beginning why it was smooth. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta first, of course, check yourselves. Look, is the issue coming from me, right? And if it's not coming from me, then what has changed? It's for sure. I feel like there has to be that kind of because people are evolving every single second, every single day. The person you are today is not the person you are tomorrow. That's information, stimulus. A lot of things have happened into your next day. So it's like there are things for sure you need to ask yourself, like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Issue for me, even if it's from them, is there something that we can work on? Like they say, compromise, right? People say compromise a lot in relationships. Compromise, compromise. But what they understand by compromise is sacrificing yourself for the other person's pleasure. That's not true compromise, right?
No.
True compromise is meeting in the middle, right? Like you were saying, right? So I think, I definitely agree with that. Try to make it work. Or just like just talk about it. Communication is the key thing. Understanding is I always say on this channel, right? Empathy doesn't mean that you have to accept the person's issue. But if you understand where the other person is coming from, maybe y'all can understand. Maybe you can agree. Maybe you can. But understanding would yield respect one way or another. You know what I'm saying? You can find out if okay, maybe it's going to work, maybe it's not going to work. But without communication and honest communication, not just yes, you said not from a point of ego, not from a point of emotion, but you can say from a point of logic. Look, break it down. Okay, what happened? Ooh, okay, all right. So this is where it changed. Okay. What can we do? What should we do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, does that make you feel not like yourself? Does this make me feel not like myself? Okay. What you just have that communicate. My whole thing is honest communication. Like, let's because I love to bring my own personal. I don't give too much information, but I give just enough. I've had a
Yeah.
situation where uh, I'm gonna say this. I was talking to this chick, right? And
Here we
for me,
go.
for me, things were smooth. You feel me? It was smooth and all that, right? And then she gonna hit me with this is like months into the stuff. I noticed the difference. You know what I'm talking about? I noticed the difference, and I was just like, okay. Mind you, inside my intuition is like, oh yeah, she doing something. But I'm not that kind of individual. I don't do all that, and I don't, as I said, freely as I got this shit, I expect it to go freely as well. So after noticing a little while, I kind of brought it to. What I did was smart. So I played a movie. I forgot what movie it was or something. I played a movie where it was basically kind of like relationship turmoil type shit, right? And I was noticing her reactions while watching the movie. And then I think what happened was because I'm the kind of person that you can take my phone. Like I ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? You can take my phone. So I think something happened and I grabbed her phone and she quickly grabbed the phone. I'm like, okay, right? That was my sign right there, right? So when she came back, I asked her, yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then she was honest, which is great. She didn't tell me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I asked, calm and collected, because I'm always, that's just me. I really don't. So I'm like, well, why why you do, what I'm saying? She's like, well, you weren't giving me enough, what's she, intimacy? Was it?
Yeah, it's cat. It's cat.
And I said to her, I was like, really, 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 I'm not giving you enough intimacy. So for you, intimacy is smashing two people at the same, like at the same time. That's what intimacy is to you, not communication, not none of that. And I just kind of like the whole situation, kind of just long story short, cutting long story short. After that, of course, me as peacefully and calmly as I am, I'm like, okay, well, we can still be friends, but this is over with, right? And she breaks down crying, but you weren't doing this, and I did it. I'm just like, but you could have said all this from the get go, right? It's only because I've called you out on the shit. Now you're giving me all these excuses. Communication was everything, and the way, of course, I delivered the issue. What I'm saying was, also, as opposed to someone, I guess that was, hey, you fucking somebody, what I'm saying? I wasn't with all that bullshit. It's just not my way. So what I noticed from there is trying to, because part of what I was trying to get to also is the way we talked about it, to figure out what, I didn't want to just prove a point, like point a finger at her, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I also wanted to just let her understand, that what she was saying was bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like, so you saying intimacy is the problem. Oh, I was not showing enough emotion. Well, you just went and smashed somebody. You weren't spending time, you just smashing them. That's not, you only smash, that's just sex. That has nothing to do with intimacy or communication. Like you just smashing the person. So that right there for me is a clear, it's a clear indication, at least a clear way for I think anybody that's trying to communicate, what I'm saying, through an emotional point, how to address situations. It's not about, you have to leave your emotions out the situation. Like if you want to talk about something, you literally have to drop your emotions to the side and weigh it strictly on logic, on facts. What has been said from this person's point, not you throwing something in the air, not me creating and saying, oh, but you didn't. No. I use her words against her. Oh, so this is what you okay. So where was I not meeting you at this point? And then she couldn't say nothing. Or where was I not meeting you at this point? Okay, where was this
mhm,
person meeting you on that point? Or where was? And then it just, I guess, it slowly dawned on her. That's why she broke down, started crying, because then she realized what she was saying was bullshit. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So for me, that's kind of how I feel like effective communication is. At least it's just coming from trying to understand. Because I genuinely was trying to understand what the fuck she was talking about. Because I it wasn't processing to me when she says intimacy and communication, but she just smashing somebody else on the side. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, but that's not, I don't, that's not intimacy, that's not communication. You know what I'm saying? That's just dick and pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't understand it. What would you have done in my situation? Because I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, putting myself in your shoes, I'd say, a similar situation. Um, I mean, there's not, much that one can do. I mean, if y'all weren't even in a serious relationship, and
Hell
if it
no.
was open, and if you were open, I mean, I would even not even have a problem and tell her that it's over. I'd be like, that's fine. You don't got to tell me nothing. If you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. That's it.
Nah,
Now, if
because
we're in a
it was, that's the thing. I don't do relationships. Everything is a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Friendships, all that good. But I do exclusivity. That's my thing. Before anything goes on, I'm very outlined with my shit. If I'm smashing you, I'm not smashing other. Like we're not doing that just simply because I don't play all them games. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not my way. I don't know what diseases, whatever the fuck, all this extra shit that can come with it. You know what I'm saying? So if you smashing me, you smashing me. So that's what I'm saying. It's all because I think cheating or whatever it is basically breaking an agreement. That's simply what it is. If there's an agreement and you trying to eat your cake and have it too, I think that's what cheating is. Anything outside of that is bullshit. If y'all just fucking around, nobody outline nothing, and the person just, that's not cheating because you can outline shit. But if you outline some shit, and that's kind of why I was like, okay, so mind you, I'm not even calling it cheating because I only kind of associate cheating to a relationship. But for me, it was just more like she was trying to have a cake and eat it too. Then the reason for her wanting to have a cake and eat it too was still just not even, it wasn't computing. You know what I mean?
right, there you go.
Hey, hey now, come on now, bro. You give me something now. Give me something more. I mean,
Now
I
I'm
get
listening. I'm
you let it
listening.
slide, but like okay, let's say you were me in that situation. Now you were me, but you were in that situation, right? Exclusivity. How would you have addressed it?
I mean, yeah, very similar. I mean, there's not much of a recourse. There's no legal recourse of anything, right? And nor is there any consequences. My personal philosophy is, if I've never been in that situation, right? But I just let them know. I've spoke about it hypothetically. Is just I want any woman to be with the best man that she can get.
Mm,
That's hypergamy. That's their nature anyway.
mm.
They want to get the best man that they could possibly get. And so I just invite her, like, hey, listen, like, if there's another man that you're seeking, or another type of situation, I want you to be free.
That's
I want you to be free, and I want you to get the best man that you believe you can get. And I really mean that, and I support you. I'll take you to his house. It's fine. It's not a problem.
fuck no.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. I want you to be with the best man that you can get. And if she says that, if she so yeah, like, find that man,
Mm.
right?
Nah,
And
I fucks with that. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. So
yeah, I'm not that nice. I'm not about to tell her I want you to be with. I mean, mind you, of course, everybody should, but
no,
for
it's not
me,
about being nice. It's not about being nice, right? It's about, listen. You know, if you hold a bird in your hand, you could crush it and kill it.
hmm
You have to let it. You have to keep your hand open
to let
and
it
let
land.
it land, and then be willing to let it go.
Yeah,
If you have a bird and you love the bird, you wouldn't have it in the cage. You let it be free,
exactly. True.
right?
True.
So I'll just let her know, hey, listen, you know. Now, me personally, I don't do monogamy. I do polygyny. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be having multiple wives,
okay.
right? And they're going to be fully committed to me. So that's not this is not a situation that I would be in. I was just
Hey,
not
yo,
that's what I'm saying. So that's why I
I
can't,
feel
like, fully tell you, like, what I would do. Like, what I would do is just the same thing. It's like, listen, like, be with the best man. I believe I'm the best man that you could that in your life, and
mhm.
even though they'll find another man who's richer, this, that, and the third,
Yeah.
or whatever, my love and my spiritual essence and my spiritual fire is elite, 99 percentile, and
Mm,
my word is law, and my commitment is super strong. So, but if you can find somebody that is better for you, that you like better, then I would want you to be with that man. And with that attitude, what helps with that attitude is that it shows a woman inner strength,
mm,
right? If it's like you're letting her go, to let her know that, hey, I know my worth.
mhm.
And it's a very just it's like a now that allows her to come to me without her feeling. She could come to me in her own freedom.
Mm,
And then, so sometimes people, when they don't feel free and they feel locked down to exclusivity, right, then they want to fight against the
yeah.
exclusivity to feel free.
Yeah.
So now, by me not making her feel pressure to have to be with me, she's able to freely be with me.
Now, I get that's basically like telling the kid, don't touch that. The kid gonna want to see, curiosity is always going. Now I see that's gonna be our next thing. So we're gonna talk this polygamy thing. I this is the that's
Polygyny, polygyny, polygyny.
polygyny. So what's the difference between polygyny and polygamy?
Yeah, very good. Polygamy is having, like, multiple lovers, and it could be like a two-way street. I'm
Mm,
talking about polygyny. One man having multiple wives, but the wives don't have multiple husbands or multiple partners.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
polygyny. Yeah,
yeah. We're gonna talk. We definitely gonna talk about that next
yeah, yeah.
because I'm definitely more on the exclusive side. See, I don't mind. I don't share, right? In a sense, I don't share. I just don't share. It's not my shit, right? And talking to you as an individual, that's so yeah, we going our next thing is gonna be that. That's gonna be strictly a one like a podcast. We're gonna talk in depth about it because I feel like for sure. One thing is that we can definitely have a good rapport right here. You know what I'm saying? Good conversation. So I want to see that mindset. I definitely want to crack your brain, pause on that. On that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's interesting. I don't think I've met a guy in America that has that mindset. I'm from Nigeria and all that good stuff, so that's a normal thing. But also, it kind of also in Nigeria that one comes with exclusivity. There ain't nobody telling you, nah, go check it out in the nice. Fuck all that. Once they marry the person, they marry them. You know what I'm saying? The guy marries all the wives, so she ain't going to try nothing. She locked in. You know what I'm saying? Or they locked in. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to have that conversation and see from your experience. Probably get some stories too. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of break that down because I feel like that. A lot of guys. The nature of men, as people say, is having multiple. Unlike a lady that would not be able to maintain, having multiple partners. Not all ladies, majority of ladies cannot maintain that, spreading their emotions evenly. But majority men can do that because even that, as I kind of didn't want to get into this already, but even in the animal kingdom, as you can see, because I've always had that discussion also with ladies, and for me, my style is just me. I just don't want a lot of burdens in my shit. I'm not about to be, because it's a lot dealing with one woman. I've been in a situation where I was with two best friends, so what I'm saying, and yeah, it was work, bro. It was fun, but it was also work because what I'm saying, literally, it's double the trouble now. You know what I mean? So all that good stuff. So I want to definitely get your opinion on that. That's why I want us to have a full episode with that one in. So any closing words? This one. Oh, by the way, shout yourself out and all that good stuff. Your channel, so people can follow you as well. Um, but yeah, closing words, closing statements,
Yeah,
closing.
yeah. I didn't start my channel yet, so I'm not gonna shout myself out here. But
Oh, shout your
what I
Instagram
mean, I'm
so
just here.
where someone can get to you, bro.
Oh man.
For the ladies, you know what I'm saying, that might see this later on, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get in that polygyny
Uh,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
you know, we'll say that we'll let you know in the comments or whatever where to find me in the about me section or whatever. We'll figure that out post editing.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah,
For sure, man. Appreciate you, bro, for sliding through, man. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tap in, show boy Almighty, man, and with that man, Daniel D. MEZA, man. You know what I'm saying? Two
yeah.
brothers having an intellectual conversation. You know what I'm saying? Of course, bro talk is a land of empathy, man. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to accept, but you can understand. Maybe you can one day accept. Oh, not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is different. The flavor of life is variation. We can all not be the same. But if you can understand each other, it makes it a lot easier. You feel me? And yeah, man, I think that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, about to be out this month. I got something to do. Bro, about to go handle some business. You feel
Let's
me?
go.
My y'all. See y'all later. Hit that
See
subscribe
y'all
button.
later.
Good stuff. Peace.
Peace.